Okay, imagine this scenario. It lands right on your desk. A chilling message pops up on social media. 4 of your soldiers supposedly captured. You've got 10 minutes to meet demands or they're executed.
Yeah.
And all you have, just a grainy photo. What's your immediate, absolute first move? How do you know if it's real?
Yeah, in that critical moment, your very first call has to be to a digital forensics expert, someone, like the people I work with. I'm an applied mathematician, a computer scientist, and really for the last 30 years, my focus has been building tech to analyze, to authenticate digital images, videos, basically trying to cut through the noise.
Right. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. This deep dive. We're pulling back the curtain on how experts like you analyze images, how you separate truth from, well, fiction, especially now, right? With all these AI fakes floating around, look at how they're made, the mistakes they contain, the structural errors, and really importantly, what you can do when you're facing this online war on reality. And your experience is, well, pretty extensive. You've worked with journalists, courts, governments. I mean, the range is incredible. Damning photos in personal cases, horrific images involving child abuse, even photographic evidence in capital murder trials.
It really spans the gamut. And what's really striking, honestly, is just the sheer frequency now. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe I'd get a case like this once a month.
Yeah.
Then it was weekly. Now it's almost every single day.
Wow, every day. So what's driving that surge? Is it just one thing or?
It's really a convergence of two really powerful premises. First, you've got generative AI. I mean, its ability now to create images that look completely real. It's a game changer.
Right. Indistinguishable something.
Almost. And second, you've got social media. These platforms, they're largely unregulated, and frankly, they're often designed in a way that promotes lies, conspiracies, things that grab attention, basically, often over the actual truth.
So AI creates the fakes, social media spreads them like wildfire.
Exactly. And the collective impact. It's just getting harder and harder to believe anything you see online. We're really talking about a global war for truth. And the consequences, they're massive for individuals, institutions, society, even democracy itself.
It's funny, for almost 200 years, we kind of took photos at face value, didn't we? As objective proof.
Yeah.
But even way back, mid-1800s, the Victorians were messing with images. And then, of course, you have really sinister examples like Stalin literally airbrushing people out of history books.
Oh, yeah. Manipulation's not new. But the turn of the millennium, that brought digital cameras, Photoshop. It made it easier, more accessible. But now, generative AI, it's a whole different ballgame. Anybody, literally anybody, can create any image of anything. Sitting anywhere, just type a prompt. Soldiers tied up, fine. A giraffe trying on a turtleneck sweater, also fine.
Okay, the giraffe and a turtleneck sounds kind of fun, I admit.
Yeah.
But the serious side of this, it's not fun in games at all. You're saying generative AI is basically supercharging old threads and even creating entirely new ones.
Precisely. We're seeing really disturbing uses, creating non-consensual fake nudes of real women, even children, used for humiliation, extortion. It's vile. We see fake videos of, say, doctors promoting completely bogus cures, dangerous stuff. And there was that real-world case, a major Fortune 500 company, lost tens of millions of dollars. Why? An AI impersonator of their CEO got onto a video call, tricked them.
Wow. So it's not just about embarrassing fakes. It's about significant financial harm, public health risks.
Absolutely. These threats aren't theoretical anymore. They're here now. And the hard truth is, everyone listening, you're potentially vulnerable.
Okay, so that's pretty sobering. Given how good these fakes can look, how do we even start to tell what's real? What's the science behind detecting them?
Right. Well, before we jump into the specific forensic techniques, it's really important to grasp the fundamental difference. How AI makes an image versus how a real photo is taken. Generative AI, it starts with literally billions of images and their descriptions, captions. Then it takes each image and basically degrades it, turns it into visual noise, just random pixels.
Okay, yeah, breaks it down completely.
Exactly. Then the AI learns to reverse that process, to turn that noise back into the original image. It does this billions and billions of times, and eventually this machine learns how to take any noise and turn it into an image that matches whatever text you type in. It's incredible, truly, but it's not how a camera works. A camera captures actual light hitting a sensor, a physical process.
Ah, okay. So AI is building the image from noise based on patterns it learned, not capturing light from reality. And that difference leaves clues, digital fingerprints.
That's the core idea. Because it doesn't replicate the natural process, it leaves behind detectable tells, as you say. Now, no single technique is like a magic bullet. It's usually about finding multiple anomalies that point in the same direction. One of the first things we often look at is something called residual noise analysis.
Residual noise. Okay.
Oh,
So how does the noise in an AI image differ from the noise, say, from my phone camera?
well, natural photos always have a certain kind of noise. It's subtle, usually random. It's just a byproduct of light hitting the sensor, the physics of it. It's organic. AI-generated images, though, because they're built from the ground up, algorithmically, their noise signature is different. It's constructed.
And what does that constructed noise look like? What's the giveaway?
When you analyze it mathematically, and okay, yes, maybe I should have taken more math in college for some listeners, but basically when you look at the Fourier transform of this noise,
Uh-oh, Fourier transform. Keep it simple.
right, forget the math jargon. What you often see are these distinct star-like patterns in the noise structure. It's not perfectly random like natural noise. It has a kind of geometric regularity. So going back to that hypothetical soldier photo, an expert analyzes the noise, finds that star-like pattern, boom, that's a big red flag right away. An initial sign, something's probably off.
Score-like patterns in the noise. Got it. That's fascinatingly subtle. What else? What other aspects of the real world does AI struggle with?
Okay, next up, vanishing points. You know how in the real world, or even in paintings, parallel lines seem to converge as they go off into the distance?
Yeah.
Like railroad tracks meeting at the horizon?
Yeah, perspective, basic drawing class stuff.
Exactly. Artists have known this for centuries. It's fundamental geometry of how we see the world. But here's the thing. AI. It's fundamentally a statistical machine. It learns patterns from data. It doesn't understand physics or geometry in the way we do. It doesn't inherently model the 3D world.
So it messes up perspective.
It often does, yes. So in that soldier photo, maybe there are parallel lines on the wall behind them, tiles maybe, or bricks. In a real photo, if you trace those lines, they should all meet at a single consistent vanishing point. But in an AI fake, you trace those lines and maybe they just don't converge properly. They might go in slightly different directions, lack a coherent single point. It's just the scene is physically impossible. Another strong clue, it's fake.
Okay, so noise patterns, vanishing points. I'm guessing shadows are another tricky area for AI, since they also follow physical laws.
You nailed it. Shadows, that's our third key technique here. Shadows aren't random, they're dictated by the light source. If you draw a line from a point on an object to the corresponding point on its shadow, that line should pass directly through the light source, causing the shadow. Simple physics.
And AI, not understanding physics.
Tends to get it wrong, exactly. So look at the shadows from the soldier's legs in our picture. You trace lines from their legs through the shadow points. In a real photo, all those lines should intersect at one point, the light source. But in the fake, maybe you trace those lines and they're, as I'd say technically, not even close to intersecting. They point all over the place. It's a clear violation of physics.
Right. The light source can't be in 4 different places at once.
Precisely. So you put these 3 things together, the star-like noise, the wonky vanishing point, the impossible shadows. Suddenly you have a very, very good indication that this image is not authentic. The key takeaway here isn't that it's always easy, but that it is possible. We can distinguish real from fake, even with sophisticated AI.
That's actually quite empowering. It feels like we're all sort of hostages sometimes, right? Drowning in information, not knowing what's real. But you're saying we don't have to be, that you, the listener, you have agency here.
Absolutely you do. Look, you're probably not going to run Fourier transforms on every image you see, but there are 4, I think, really crucial things to understand that empower you. First, know that these sophisticated tools, the ones we just talked about, they are being made available to journalists, to institutions, to courts. So the professionals who verify information are getting better equipped, and that helps protect you indirectly.
Okay, that's good. The pros have better tools.
Yeah.
What about for us, though? Anything more direct in our daily online lives?
Yes. Second point. There's a major push for something called content credentials. This is a big international standard that's rolling out now. Think of it like a digital watermark or a passport embedded right when the content is created. Camera, phone, editing software. It uses cryptography to create a secure record of where the image came from and if it's been altered. This gives you a built-in way to potentially verify authenticity right there online. It's not a perfect solution on its own, nothing is, but it's a really vital piece of the puzzle. Shifting the burden, you know?
Like a nutrition label for digital content.
Oh, sort of, yeah. A way to trace its origin and integrity.
Yeah.
Okay, third point, and this one's maybe a bigger shift for some people. You need to seriously rethink social media as your main source for news and information. Let's be blunt. These platforms weren't built to deliver truth. They were built to capture and hold your time and attention. How did they do that? Often by feeding you the digital equivalent of, well, Junk food, sensational stuff, conspiracies, outrage, and now just piles of what we call AI slop.
AI slop.
Yeah, just low quality, often nonsensical stuff churned out by AI with little human oversight, just filling the space.
So treat social media news like actual junk food, okay in moderation, but definitely not your main diet.
That's a great way to put it. If you can step away from it as a primary news source, seriously consider it. If you can't or won't, at least don't let it be your main source. It's just too polluted right now with lies, manipulation, and this AI slop to be truly reliable for critical information. And finally, number 4, this is about personal responsibility. Understand that when you share something false or misleading online, even if you don't mean to, you become part of the problem.
Amplifying the noise.
Exactly. So before you hit share, just take a breath, pause. Does this seem right? Kind of quickly check it. Don't mislead your own friends, your family, your colleagues. Don't add more pollution to the ecosystem. Instead, maybe make an effort to support the people actually doing the hard work. The serious journalists, the fact checkers who are out there every day trying to sort truth from lies for all of us.
Take a breath before sharing. That's solid advice. Okay, we've covered a lot, the tick, the tells, the takeaways. Before we wrap this deep dive, how about we tackle some quick questions, the kind of things people often ask about this stuff. Ready for some rapid fire?
Yeah, let's do it. Fire away.
Okay, first one. Big picture. Roughly what percentage of images online today do you think are actually fake or significantly manipulated?
Oh, wow. That's tough because it varies hugely. But on some platforms, especially the really chaotic ones, the signal-to-noise ratio, as we say, it's getting close to 1. I mean, maybe close to 50% on certain networks.
You're up.
It's getting bad, which is why I'd suggest maybe staying off places like Twitter or X or similar platforms if you're looking for reliable info.
50%. Wow. Okay, next. Can your techniques tell the difference between something that's just had, say, an Instagram filter applied or maybe some basic Photoshop touch-ups versus a completely AI-generated image?
Yes, generally we can differentiate. The filters and basic edits leave different kinds of artifacts than the full generative process. But I will say it is becoming increasingly more difficult as the AI gets better and better at mimicking photographic properties. The lines are definitely blurring.
Okay. So are there any websites or simple tools that a regular person, a layperson can use right now to upload an image and check if it's real?
No. Honestly, no, not reliably. And I have to give a strong warning here. This is actually becoming a secondary problem. We're seeing people create fake things and then they set up fake websites designed to supposedly authenticate their fakes. It's layers of deception. So my advice is don't trust random online checkers. It's all getting very weird. Just don't do it unless it's a very well-established, trusted source. And even then, be skeptical.
Right, fake checkers for fake images. That's
Right.
concerning. Okay, last rapid-fire question. The classic CSI moment. They zoom in on a blurry security cam photo and say, enhance. Can you actually do that?
The eternal question. The answer is
Yeah.
yes, actually, to a degree. Now, it's not magic like on TV. You can't create detail that simply isn't there at all. But with modern algorithms, we absolutely can enhance images significantly, reduce noise, sharpen details, even use AI to intelligently fill in some missing information based on context. It's pretty powerful stuff now.
Yeah.
Way beyond what was possible even a few years ago.
So maybe not quite CSI magic, but enhancement is real. Good to know. All right, as we wrap up, it feels like we're at a crossroads, doesn't it? We can let this technology keep driving wedges, sowing distrust, making it harder to agree on basic reality, or we can figure out how to use its power differently, to work for us, maybe with us, to actually build a more informed, shared reality. The choice feels like it's ours to make.
It really is. And remember what we said earlier. You don't have to be just a passive hostage in this information war. You have agency. You have choices in how you consume and share information.
So let's leave our listeners with this thought. Given that maybe, potentially, close to half the images you see online could be fake or manipulated, and knowing there aren't any easy, reliable tools for you to instantly check them, what new habits, what small changes will you adopt starting today? How will you make sure the information you consume, and especially the information you choose to share, actually serves the truth? Something to think about.